Juice? Who's got the juice? Smooth.
Right, there we go. I'm really hoping as well that when I'm filming, you guys won't hear the, like, seagulls going because they seem to be having a jolly old time outside, and now my eyes are watering because I was just about to sneeze, but then my body was like, no, you don't want to sneeze, but I got the pain in my nose. Oh my goodness, first seagulls and now sneezes. What is my day coming to? Oh, hello my juicy friends out there, whether you come from that way or that way in the side of the globe, it doesn't matter, you've all got the juice. Now, some of you may know that I like to stream every now and then. They're not anything big, they're not anything spectacular, but it's just a nice little way for me to chill with you guys, you to get to know me, and you know what, we always have a little groovy old time. Now, some of you may also know that I'm part of a little streaming community known as Castridge, where myself and some of my friends like to support each other, you know, watch each other's content, we'll appear on each other's shows, and just all around have a jolly old time. And it's a lovely little community we have built. Now, one of my dear friends within this Castridge group decided one evening that they were going to stream one night. But what did they play? Oh, they weren't sure at all. So I suggested, Tomb Raider. You can't go wrong with a bit of Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's great. You've got adventure, action, mystery. It will all be a bit of fun. But what did everyone on his Discord decide to go for? Tomb Raider, the Angel of Darkness. Yes, out of all the games I could have potentially picked, they decided to go for what I consider to be the worst of the Tomb Raider games. And you know what? They all knew how much it upset me. They all knew that I had a history with it. And that is exactly why they decided to pick it. And also because they wanted to see my dear friend have a horrible time. Now, I was there on my table eating my lovely pie and chips with, you know, a bit of veg and a bit of gravy on the side. It was absolutely lovely. Well, not gravy on the side, gravy was all over it. I love my gravy. But I was there having a lovely meal. We had a candle lit and everything. And then the evening just ended with my head being in my hands out of pure frustration and disappointment. I even have a picture here to prove it to all of you. Now, since that stream, I have just thought I needed to justify why I felt this way about this game, why I have these very strong emotions towards it. So what better time to talk about Tomb Raider, the Angel of Darkness than right now? So, why do I feel this way about this game? Well, picture, if you will, a young 7-year-old girl who idolised Lara Croft. She has just gone to the toy store with her father and her brother and looks at the video games. She was never aware about which games had recently been released because she didn't read the PlayStation magazines because reading was boring. So she looks at the shelf and she sees it. Tomb Raider, the Angel of Darkness. She begs her dad for it, begs, and begs for it. So he treats her to it. But little did she know, it was going to be the first and biggest moment of disappointment in her whole life. Tomb Raider, the Angel of Darkness is the 6th installment to the famous Tomb Raider series, being a direct sequel to Tomb Raider Chronicles and Tomb Raider The Last Revelation. I'd just like to point out that I have never fully played these two games. I've only ever played the demos for them, as I've never really had a chance to play them. But I'm currently marathoning through all of the Tomb Raider games. I'm currently on Tomb Raider 2, so just give me time, I'm getting there. And it was released in 2003 on the PlayStation 2, Mac and Windows. But more importantly, it was the first installment on the PS2, which for Tomb Raider is quite a big thing, as at the time, Lara Croft was debatably mainly considered a PlayStation mascot, despite having different games on different platforms. I will still associate her with PlayStation, no matter what anyone says! Now, there's actually quite a tragic story behind this game. It was published by Eidos and developed by Core Design. However, due to the failure of this game, they were booted. They were done. Eidos gave the Tomb Raider franchise to Crystal Dynamics, which led multiple members of Core to move on and do other things. And the remains of Core became Rebellion. Yet the game's reviews were, well, I mean, they're not great, but they're better than what I was expecting. You know what, maybe this game isn't actually as bad as I remember it being. I mean, I was very young when I played this game, and I haven't played it since, so maybe I was just blinded, focusing only on the flaws and the bad things of this game, when actually maybe there's a lot of good in it that I completely missed out. Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. Now, the first thing I noticed in this game was from the very title screen itself. Hang on a minute, excuse this little buzzy line here for a sec. There we go. You know what, that font, it just, It just looks very familiar, almost like I've seen it before. Hang on a minute! That's from the bloody films, isn't it? Well, it's incredibly close. An interesting thing about this game was that it was released just before the second Tomb Raider film, Cradle of Life. Angel of Darkness was initially released on the 17th of June in 2003, and Cradle of Life followed on, being released on the 22nd of August the same year. There's even a trailer for the film in the menu. You don't unlock it as a completion bonus or anything, it's literally just flat out there for all to see. So I can't really decide if I think that they used this font to either heavily promote the film, since it was coming out so close to the game's release, or because they were too lazy and didn't want to come up with an original font or anything new or a new style, so they just used a very, very similar font, but I don't really know, I don't really care. There's even a making of video for us.
It's always a challenge when approaching the creation of a new game.
Well, this is boring, so I'm gonna skip. Right, let's go down memory lane and see what this game is like.
There have been 17 reported murders so far in this latest outbreak of monstrous killings.
Dude, his voice sounds so much like the guy from War of the Worlds, and it's blooming great. Seagulls! Why? I don't even live near a beach! Why are there so many seagulls in this area? We find out that a man has been murdered, and Lara was the last person to be seen with him. So she must be the killer!
A murder!
But we all know that it couldn't have been her. I mean, look, these guys have history. She'd never kill someone she knew.
Ain't nothing personal.
And yes, Lara, you look absolutely fabulous in that crime scene, don't worry. Well, it turns out these two do know each other, but they had a little incident in Egypt which Lara's not a happy bunny about.
I'm going. Egypt, Werner. You walked away and left me.
Damn, was she always this cold? I mean, I know she's pissed off at everything, but look at this.
Look, go and see this woman, Carvier. She can help.
I'm going. Egypt, Werner.
This guy is begging for help. He's on his last legs at the moment, and there is no sense of kindness in Lara. I mean, was she always this brutal? So the old man gets killed, it's all flashy and paranormal. Lara's like, oh sh**. Police arrive, and it's time to run.
This looks like a safe area. But I need to find a way out.
Right, let's go. I'm ready
To move around, use the left analog stick.
Yes. Thank you very much for establishing this, Lara, but I already learnt this myself from, you know, moving. But you know what, thank you for clarifying it for me.
Push forward gently to walk, and all the way forward to run. That bin looks climbable.
Yes. Thank you very much for explaining this to me, Lara, you know, rather than letting me actually explore. But you know what, thank you for giving me this bit of information. I guess I'll climb this bin.
To climb the bin,
You're not going to let me do anything myself, are you? No one likes this. No one likes it when a game holds your hand when you're in the tutorial. I mean, please tell us what to do by all means, but don't forcefully guide us through by stopping me every 2 blooming minutes! Well, screw you, Lara. I'm going to go against your system and go see this doggy. Give me a cuddle. Give me a cuddle. Give me a... Oh my god, this is beautiful. Lara Croft, the famous Tomb Raider, could have been killed by anything in the world, and yet she was slayed by a dog on a chain. And not only that, but her death doesn't make any sense. She gets bitten by a dog, and it's as if her whole body just gives up. Good old ragdoll mechanics, they work beautifully when used right. Well, okay, this game is apparently very dangerous, so I better find some health soon. Oh! What's this on the floor? An opened chocolate bar? Why? Lara only picks up things which are relevant for adventures, so why would she need this? It's a health item. A chocolate bar, which has been opened, potentially bitten, on the floor, outside, rotting in the rain, is a health item. Where is the logic behind that? Right, I'd say I've explored enough of this square area. I guess I'll continue.
to grab the balcony.
Lara, will you let me breathe?
Now press the jump button to climb the ladder to get off. Now push forward and jump. To press, hold, press, jump, push.
So the controls for this game are much like any other Tomb Raider game. You move around, jump at the last minute, grab onto ledges, pick up items you find, and use them in the inventory menu. But there's this huge difference between the controls in this game and the other Tomb Raider games. They're shit. They feel really heavy and stiff, which makes it feel horrible to move around. I think you know that you're not in for a fun time when moving. Bloody moving is a chore. Lara doesn't just, you know, move. She takes her sweet ass time with it. You push forward on the controls and she starts slowly walking. Then she decides to pick up the pace a bit and then she actually starts running. It may not look like it on the footage, but trust me, in game this feels unbelievably heavy. I can only guess they did this for realism. I mean, you don't just wake up and go, "Whoa!" But moving is such a chore. And this heavy movement doesn't help when you want to make a run and jump. For those of you who have already played Tomb Raider, you know when you want to do a run and jump, there is the specific timing for when she jumps, as you have to jump at the last minute. Well, everything you've learned about that timing? Forget it. As Lara will fight against you when you move, meaning that you either jump too soon or you just don't jump at all and walk off the edge. But the thing that gets me is that, like in other Tomb Raider games, there is a walking button. So why make me walk when I just want to do the run and jump to get the timing for the jump when I know there's a walking button, and if I wanted to do the walking button, I would have pressed it anyway! And just like in the other games, walking to the edge does prevent you from falling. But they don't even get these controls right! When Lara's in walking mode, she moves forward fine. But let's say you're stood on a very thin platform, and you want to be careful to make sure you don't fall off. So you'll go into walking mode and then make your way to turn right to walk in the right direction. Nope! Lol! You wanted to sidestep, right? No! No, I didn't, game. I wanted to walk left, not shimmy. Why don't you just let me turn around so I can actually walk? Well, you can try, but it's going to be very bloody tight for you, said the game. To which I said, fine, have it your way. And I shimmied along this whole bloody platform. Why couldn't they have just put the shimmying on another button, like in Tomb Raider 1? I mean, for God's sake! I'm sorry. Let me carry on with this tutorial. Bloody hell, I haven't even finished this part of the game yet.
Maybe I can climb through that window.
Yes! Yet again, Lara, thank you very much for telling me that I can climb a window before you even allow me to see there is a window there!
Walk up to the window and push forwards.
Oh, and Lara sometimes says this too. You want to climb onto something, but Lara's like, no, she doesn't want to do that yet, so instead of climbing it, she'll actually just walk into it for a little bit, because, you know what, she's got a Fitbit watch on her now, and she just wants to get those steps in. But, you know what, it's not wasting my time, at least she's getting those steps in.
I'll have a look around whilst I'm here. To open drawers and cupboards, stand in front of them and press action.
I'm sorry, have a look around? You mean you're gonna have a look through these people's drawers and cupboards, you know, in someone's property, which they own, and have a look inside? And she steals! You know what? If she's going in people's property, she might as well just rob them at the same time. Yes, I know Lara picks up things from tombs and shit, but this is someone's flat! And she's just taken their money! Just flat out went in the cupboard and went yoink!
Hey! Aren't those 500 euros?
Gee whiz! I don't know, Nico! I've never seen 500 euros, so let me look on the computer and I'll find out! Lara stole 500 euros? And what's even better is that this game doesn't even class it as 500 euros. I could have just picked up 25 euros according to this game. It doesn't care. Oh, and while we're at it, let's take another open chocolate bar that just so happens to be opened and left in a drawer. Yes, very hygienic, Lara. Good thing you actually pick up medicine and med packs as well for when you throw up from unhygienic eating. Right, okay, let's talk about something that Lara's known for doing. Climbing. Another element that this game adds for realism is that when you're climbing, you have a stamina meter. Which I can understand for realism, but bloody hell do these guys keep it tight. There are so many times you'll be climbing and think, hurry up Lara, for God's sake! Oh, well, there she goes. But climbing isn't the only section of this game which shows her strength. Oh no! There is another one which loads of people love picking out.
I feel stronger now.
Woman, what the hell are you talking about? Hello, woman. Literally, as I said, that a woman walks by. Yes, it turns out that in this game, you need to increase Lara's strength to get past certain areas. For example, you will come across some doors that Lara cannot open as she's not strong enough, so you need to go and do something in order to increase her strength, and then you can proceed. Do I even need to explain why this is stupid? This is like adding RPG elements into Uncharted by making Nathan climb little obstacles before he can climb a big mountain because now he's finally strong enough. I mean, you just don't do that. Heck, Nathan Drake can even lose a lot of blood and still have enough strength to climb a bloody train. God damn it, Lara! It just makes us seem weak. Which isn't who Lara is. She's a strong badass and I just hate to see her look weak. I mean, why would they do this to my idol? Oh, and I also want to point out that when Lara wants to move a box, no matter what I did, she always had to push it forward first and then she'd move it in the direction I wanted it to go. I mean, why are you fighting against me, girl? Then we go all MGS on this game's ass by sneaking. But this guard doesn't even notice me when I sneak into him. Good IA there, mate. And finally, some more action. Blooming heck, that was loud. So we need to climb up these flight of stairs, which I remember being stuck on for ages when I was a kid, as despite there being a huge gap here which Lara could easily fit through, you have to push this box, which you can't do as you're not strong enough. So you need to find out how to get stronger, then push the box, then jump, and you need to do all of this while suffocating. But the thing is, you can easily miss the strength part, as when you walk by an item you can interact with, you can see this little hand corner in the bottom right. So I picked up this first aid kit and there was no indication that I could interact with anything more, so I moved on. But there was actually a door in that room that I could have pushed, so where was the bloody hand game? Okay, I'm done with this section, so let's just move on. Oh wait, no, sorry, it's fine. She'll just climb back up out of this bin as if there's nothing wrong and it's all absolutely fine. I mean, no worries. We've got out of this section and made it to Carvier's apartment. Yay!
An evil night to be out alone, Miss Croft. Our streets are not safe anymore.
Mademoiselle Carvier, I have just come from Werner's apartment.
And this is when I realised that the voice acting, it's not bad, but it's not good. It's a situation where you feel that the actors didn't record the lines together, so it just feels kind of distanced.
I'm not going to waste any more time here. Do you have the notebook?
See what I mean?
And how is Werner?
I'm afraid Werner is dead.
Dead.
Whoa, hang on a minute. What have we got here? Have we got some multiple choice questions? Are these going to impact my game? Are these going to affect my ending? Game, you never said there was going to be multiple choice questions. Right, well, option 1 seems a bit chaotic. I mean, she's just lost her friend, so you know what? I'll be nice.
Can I get you anything?
How was Werner killed? What happened?
It's all a bit vague. I arrived at his apartment today from London. He was babbling with fear.
I'll tell you what Lara's voice sounds like to me. It sounds like it should belong in one of those audiobooks, you know, ones where it's not really exciting or anything, it's just someone reading a book. You know, rather than being a character in a conversation with actual emotions.
He was babbling with fear.
So with these multiple choice questions, you seem to get an average of 2 responses. You can either be nice or be annoying. I can't remember what I chose when I was a kid. I mean, I completely forgot this was an element to the gameplay, but I'm pretty sure that some of these choices do have consequences. Now, I was nice to everyone as I thought that way they want to help me more. But look at some of these examples. Lara can just be an absolute savage beast. So I get a notebook from my old friend Werner, check it out and regret it immediately as it means nothing to me, steal some of her shiz, you know, while she's in the house, and off I go. Oh, I know this part in the game all too well. In fact, I'm actually feeling a bit nostalgic over this bit because this was where, when I was a kid, I could not progress because I didn't know what the hell to do. But this was also the moment that in this playthrough, I was bored. I got so bored when I reached this point. I wanted some action, some exploration, something more than just walking around and listening to someone talking. But guess what? I need to do some more walking around and listen to people talking. Lots and lots of talking. Now, when you're talking to these characters, you get information on where you need to go, who you need to talk to, and kind of what you need to do. But when you're done talking to them and they've got no more information, they seem to repeat the same line over and over again, indicating that there's nothing else. But when I was a kid and I didn't know what to do, I thought that all I could do was talk to these characters over and over again. You know, maybe I missed something. But all I got were these same lines over and over again, and I felt very nostalgic when I heard them again.
What about the spare change, mademoiselle?
Move along, ma chère. You make the place look crowded.
And there are two which I definitely remember. One of them being...
Depends what's in it for me. Are you buying or selling?
I've just always loved how he says it.
Are you buying or selling?
Are you buying or selling? And the other one is from this guy. Do you remember earlier I said that I think that the answers to the multiple choice questions impacts how you play the game? Well, this guy is the reason why. You get informed from this lady that this man can get you in touch with a man called Bouchard, who we are looking for, but in all honesty, I can't remember why. And this man, he's just the best.
Excuse me?
You're not from around here?
No.
Then leave me alone. I'm busy.
You just can't beat this guy. I'm sorry I interrupted you, sir. I can see you're very busy. Very busy.
Janice said I might find you here.
She shouldn't be giving my name out like that. What do you want? I'm busy.
Hey! Take it easy.
And the award for the best lines delivered in this whole game goes to... these two!
Leave me alone. I'm busy.
So he won't tell us anything about Bouchard until we get a box for him, which is in Bouchard's club.
Where will you be in an hour?
In an hour? Here. But after that, who knows?
Oh yes, of course, sorry, I forget that you are an incredibly busy man. Very busy.
Leave me alone. I'm busy.
Oh, come on. Rosie, could you fetch me a... Leave me alone! I'm busy! Hey, Rosie, could you help me out with the cleaning? Leave me alone! I'm busy! Hey, Rosie, do you fancy perhaps playing... Leave me alone! I'm busy! Rosie, it's 2 at night. You need to go to bed. Leave me alone! I'm busy!
As a kid, I must have been an arse to this old man, as every time I went to talk to him, all he said was,
Leave me alone, I'm busy.
Which is why it's been engraved in my head for all of these years, after aimlessly walking around not knowing what to do. And because I find it bloody hilarious.
Give me the box first, it's mine.
So I probably would have had to have found another way in order to get into this club. But I'm a polite big girl now who fell in love with this old man, and so let's go get his box. And with that, I have now progressed further than I did when I was a kid. So we go to the club, solve a puzzle, get stronger. Jesus, Lara! And guards! Oh my god, finally some action! But how do I equip a gun?
I don't know, so I'll just kick!
At first I thought you always had to go into the inventory and then manually equip a gun whenever you wanted to use it. But don't worry, there is actually an equip button. And then once you're in the gunfights, oh boy, they're so beautiful, I just can't even express it into words. How can you comment on perfection? Hello, welcome to my bar. But you can also kick and punch people. The first time I did this was accidental, as I didn't know what was going on, but it was great. Then I died. Which was great. And then this guy scared the living daylights out of me, so I may have randomly mashed buttons, which was great. And then it was just a case of going in guns a-blazing. Apart from this guy, as he was just having a jolly old rave by himself. Which I can't really blame him for, because this music in the club is so loud. I mean, I know they want to give a club vibe, but this is so much louder than the rest of the game. In fact, the music is... actually, it's alright when it's there. The only tracks I really remember are the theme, as I actually really liked it, the Parisian streets, and the club music, which just go on. And on. And on. But after dying a lot and being so bored I got really moody and grumpy, I was gonna stop playing this game. I had been playing this game for over 3 hours and I was just done with it. But I gave this game another shot. I looked up what to do, admittedly, but like I said, I stopped caring for this game a long time ago, and I progressed. But that didn't help this game, I was still really bored. I was bored of slowly moving around these wide open spaces, bored of talking to everyone, bored of the same droning music, and I just wanted some adventure. And I wasn't getting it. I even found this guy who had blue stuff on him and I actually wondered what was going on. But then I got bored again. That is until I found Bouchard.
What happened to your man in the room out there, Bouchard?
To Arno? You've got something to say about that?
This game does have some beautiful moments, I'll give it that.
To Arno?
And then this guy gets murdered, but even Lara seems bored by it, so I was even more bored. And this is when I knew that this would be the end of my playthrough. I played this game for just over 6 hours and I was just done. I tried to push on, but alright, before I go on, I swear I didn't plan this and I will admit this was my fault. But I got in a death loop. There was a bomb that was about to go off and I thought, okay, I've got out of this room, I'll save it here before the fire comes, so if I die, I won't have to go through the whole process again. Now I should have done this on a different save, but I didn't. And when I exited the pause menu, I could only laugh. I mean, I was expecting fire, but not that suddenly. I thought the game would have at least given me a chance. But to get back to this point, I needed to do the whole game all over again. And I wasn't having any of that, so I just stopped. I feel justified. I feel like I've played this game for long enough to make a judgment on it. So, here it is. This is not a Tomb Raider game. I will admit I don't know if it feels more like a Tomb Raider game as you progress onwards, but from looking at the game trailer that you get in the menu when you leave it idle for a bit, it doesn't look like it's going to improve. It still looks really stiff, really boring, and I don't think it's going to feel like a Tomb Raider game. And in general, I don't think it's a good game. I will say it was better than I remember it being, I will give it that, but it's just not good. And I will say, revisiting it, I did have a lot of fun with it, if not for the right reasons, but I still feel as if that this game, it's just not good. You probably can get enjoyment from it if you enjoy taking the mick and things like that, but if not, or if you do want a genuine Tomb Raider experience, don't go for this game. But if you do want some good experiences with Tomb Raider in terms of if you want to go for the more PlayStation 2 route, then do check out the PlayStation HD trilogy on PS3, because I feel like that's got the main PS2 entries to Tomb Raider and they're just fun games, so go for those ones. Don't go for this one. But I will never forgive this game for being my first and biggest moment of disappointment in my life. I mean, I think the fact that I was a kid made it even tougher and harder for me, but there are some scars that just can't heal. So I think it's very obvious to say, I'm sure you guys probably knew this when you clicked on this video, but this game does not have the juice. But gorek, after releasing all of that aggression and built up tension, I'm gonna need a bloomin' walk just to cool down, so I'm gonna go get changed and I'm gonna take a nice refreshing walk. So I will see you all in the next review. Thank you all so much for watching and you've all got the juice. I'll see you next time. Bye bye!